nosacīts mūsu prāts.
So there's three bits there.
Tur ir 3
So
sastāvdaļas.
this seems a bit abstract, but it's an important one. 2A is the recognition, there's a neutral state of mind called discrimination that's clear and discriminates. That is the person I plan to give money to.
Aspekts 2A izšķirtspēja, ka es skaidri atpazīstu to personu, kurai es vēlos
2B
2B
is the word intention.
ir nolūks.
Now, I don't know about in Latvian, but in English people often use that as also meaning motivation. Oh, she had a good intention. But it's not the meaning here.
Cilvēki izmanto to arī kā tādu sinonīmu vārdu motivāciju, bet tas...
Intention is the meaning of the word karma, actually.
Nolūks ir vārdu karmas.
Volition.
Griba.
Will. I will.
Es gribu.
Everything starts with that.
Viss sākās ar to.
Even my walking out that door.
Pat es vēlos iziet caur durvīm.
Believe me, my legs will not pick me up until I have the thought, I will walk out the door. I promise.
Manas kājas neiznesīs mani pa šīm durvīm, ja vien es to nevēlēšos.
As Lama Zopa says,
Saka,
everything exists on the tip of the wish.
Viss balstās uz vēlēšanos,
The thought,
uz domu,
the intention.
uz nolūku.
Trouble is, because we're programmed from countless lives,
Tā kā mēs esam neskatām dzīvi
so
laikā
many of
ietekmēti,
our actions
mūsu daudzās darbības
are virtually instinctive.
ir instinktīvas.
We're so programmed.
Mēs esam
We
ļoti
don't even notice even we're doing it. It doesn't seem like any intention at all.
Mēs visu darām, pat nenojaušot, ka tam
But
ir
it's
kaut kāds nodoms. Bet
It's
tas tur
there.
ir.
So like, okay, so let's say for example, a negative action.
Un, teiksim, negatīva
It's I'm
darbība,
chatting away to Igor,
ja es,
and I feel a tickle.
uh,
A tickle.
es runāju ar Igoru un,
And suddenly I go boom like
iezi,
that.
un tad es vienkārši uzsitu
I don't even lose concentration.
pa roku un nezaudēju
That was a
koncentrēšanos.
complete action of killing a mosquito.
Es nogalināju
First of all, there was an object there.
Pirmkārt, tur bija objekts.
Instantaneously was recognition. The second part, 2A, discrimination. A mosquito.
Bija
That mosquito.
atpazīšana, ka tur ir otrs,
2B,
2B,
intention.
nolūks,
I will kill that mosquito.
es nogalināšu šo mosquito,
2C,
2C,
motivation.
motivācija,
Aversion. How
nepatīk.
dare it take one drop of my blood?
Kā tas uzdrīkstās izsūkt
All that comes in a millisecond.
asins
At the
pilnu.
same time,
Tas viss parādās
boom,
vienā laikā.
and then notice, splat.
Un tad es pamanu asins.
All in 1 millisecond, a complete action of killing.
Vienā milisekundē
All those
pilnīgi
bits were there.
nogalināšanas darbība. Tur bija viss sastāvdaļas.
But so fast.
Bet ļoti
Like,
ātri.
what a pretty cup, you know.
Cik jauka krūze tas pats gadījums.
So, generosity, back to the which action we're doing? Generosity. Virtuous action. Yeah, a classic virtuous action of generosity.
Tātad klasisks piemērs dāsnumam vai
Object, a
devībai
person.
ir objekts, ir persona.
2A,
2A,
discrimination, that is the person.
atpazīšana, ka tur ir
2B,
persona. 2B,
Intention,
nolūks.
I will give 50 euros.
Es iedošu 50 eiro.
2C,
2C,
the crucial one,
pats galvenais,
motivation,
motivācija.
generosity.
Devība.
3,
3,
hand goes in the pocket,
nauda
hands
sniedzās,
the 50 euros.
rokas sniedzās kabatā pēc
4,
naudas, iedod
He
naudu.
gets the 50 euros.
Un 4. punkts
That's a
viņš dabū
complete
naudu.
action of generosity.
Tā ir pilnīgi paveikta
A
devības
typical
darbība.
example of a positive action.
Tipisks piemērs pozitīvai
But the
darbībai.
point is this,
Bet,
and we
jā,
can see it.
to mēs to redzam,
In the case of the 50 euros dropping out of my pocket,
kad 50 eiro izkrita no manas kabats,
no karma.
nekāda
My
kā
mind didn't know.
prāts to nezināja.
In the case of giving it, when I think you give me his money,
Kad es
virtually
gribēju
negative action.
dabūt viņa naudu
It
pretī,
looks positive,
tā izskatījās pēc
but
pozitīvas
my
darbības,
motivation is horrible.
bet man motivācija bija slikta.
This one is a typical one of good. The motivation is the key thing.
Un trešais piemērs bija, kur pilnīgi pozitīva darbība. kur
You
motivācija
could even
nav.
say the mere intention, I will give 50 euros, on its own is not enough.
Bet arī pats plikais nodoms, ka mēs gribam iedot naudu.
The
ar to,
real
ka maz.
thing that determines whether it's negative or positive, for me, when I do it,
Galvenais, kas nosaka priekš manis, vai tas, ko es daru, pozitīvs vai
is
nē,
the motivation.
ir motivācija.
But much of what we do in our daily life,
Bet daudz ko mēs
eating,
darām
sleeping, going to
ikdienas
the toilet, killing mosquitoes, killing the rats, sleeping with my boyfriend,
dzīvē, vai mēs ēdam, nogalinām odus, vai
You
guļam
know.
ar savu draugu,
shouting with the boss,
vai
being mean
strīdamies
about
ar
my auntie.
priekšnieku, vai esam nelāgi
actions about
izturēties
body
pret,
and speech,
tanti, vai
ordinary
darām visādas
things.
darbības, visas šīs parastās lietas,
We're programmed.
Mēs esam
They're driven
ieprogrammējuši.
by attachment.
Un tās
They're driven by attachment.
mūsu
They're
piekļušanas.
impelled by me getting what I want every second.
To visu virza tas, ka mēs vēlamies dabūt to, ko mēs gribam.
You know, eating, sleeping, going to the toilet, having sex, shouting at the neighbour.
Tāpēc mēs ēdam, dzeram, kliedzam.
What we call normal life.
To mēs saucam par normālu
Buddhism
dzīvi.
is driven by attachment.
Buddha saka, ka to dzen mūsu
So of course,
pieķeršanās.
the level of attachment of these delusions that Buddha is referring to are way more subtle than we can even imagine.
Un, protams, šis pieķeršanās līmenis ir daudz smalkāks nekā mēs varam ikdienā uztvert.
So we're going to be why we have to be very patient and humble with ourselves.
Un tāpēc mums ir jābūt ļoti pacietīgiem attiecībā par sevi.
And that's why, incidentally, to answer your question, the lady in the red cardigan, red jumper, when we see our own attachment and own neediness and own low self-esteem and own depression,
Un tāpēc, kad mēs redzam, ka mūsos pašos ir zems pašvērtējums un depresija,
first recognizing the source, which is these unhappy states of mind.
pirmām kārtām ir jāatpazīst avots, no kurienes tas nāk.
So then also, apart from working on those states of mind,
Un darbojoties arī ar šiem prātu stāvokļiem,
actively counteracting those negative, distorted, untrue stories.
ir aktīvi jāliek pretī kaut kas šiem realitātei neatbilstošiem stāstiem.
So in just the same way that when I say Igor is horrible, he's this and he's that and he's this, anger's exaggerating his badness.
Piemēram, kad es saku, Igors ir ļauns, nekam nedrīkst un tā tālāk, tad manas dusmas pārspīlē.
Guilt,
Vaina,
I'm a bad person, I did this and this and this, I'm hopeless, I'm no good,
kad es sev vainoju, ka es nekam nedaru, ka es esmu bezcerīgs gadījums un tā tālāk,
is anger towards myself.
tās ir dusmas pret sevi.
And it's an exaggeration as well.
Un arī tas ir pārspīlējums.
So we have to, one point about, when we look at this view about how they're delusional, these
Un,
negative states, it
tāpēc,
gets a technical point.
kad mēs aplūkojam, kā izpaužās šie negatīvie prāta stāvokļi,
When we get beyond the feeling, the painful feeling,
mums ir jāaiziet aiz sāpīgajām
and
sajūtām.
we get to identify the conceptual story that informs that feeling.
Un tad mums ir jānokļūst līdz konceptuāliem stāstiem, kas, uz kuriem balstās šīs.
We're going to hear that guilt over-exaggerates my badness.
Un tad mēs sadzirdēsim, ka šī vainas sajūta pārspīlē manu sliktumu.
It paints the whole of me with that one brush, doesn't it?
Ka tā nokrāso visu manu vienā krāsā.
I did this and that.
Ka es izdarīju to un to.
I'm a bad person.
Un tāpēc es esmu slikts
Literally,
cilvēks.
technically,
Burtiski
it's an
tehniski
over-exaggeration.
tas ir pārspīlējums.
It isn't an accurate assessment.
Tas nav objektīvs
So it's
novērtējums.
really important to hear.
Un to ļoti svarīgi saprast.
Really hard to counteract
Bet ļoti grūti tam
because it's
pretdarboties.
so ingrained.
Jo tas ir ļoti
And we
dziļi mūsos.
believe that story so, like it, almost as if it's a virtue to think we're a creep, you know.
Un mēs uztveram, ka tā ir gluži kā laba rīcība domāt par sevi slikti.
So one simple way of working with these states of mind,
Un diezgan vienkārši veids, kā
when we
var
hear
darboties ar
how it's a
šiem stāvokļiem,
distorted assessment of myself,
kad es sadzirdu, ka es sevi novērtēju negatīvi
it
un
isn't
neatbilstoši,
accurate.
ka tas nav
It
realitāte,
over-exaggerates.
ka tas ir pārspīlēts.
And you argue with it.
Un tad
And you tell yourself it's not true.
sakam, ka tā nav.
Of course you don't believe it first,
Protams, mēs tam
but
neticēsim
you
uzreiz,
keep working.
bet turpinām ar to darboties.
That's crucial to do.
Tas ir ļoti svarīgi to darīt.
Being your own therapist is not a joke when I say it. Let me, she said it like that, it's like that, really like that.
Un, kad mēs sakam, ka ir jābūt pašiem sev terapeitam, mēs nejokojam.
No, exactly.
Tas tā ir.
Are we communicating?
Ir skaidrs.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, and analysing then what a negative action is kind of, you know, okay, this is a simple example, the ones I've just done.
Tad šie vienkāršie piemēri, ko es tikko minēju,
So the key point I'm making here,
tas, ko es vēlos ar to pateikt,
something's not bad
ka kaut kas nav
in
slikts
itself.
pats par sevi.
You can make general statements,
Var izvirzīt vispārīgas
the generosity is a good action.
ka devība ir laba darbība.
Just because I give €50 to somebody doesn't mean I created the karma of generosity.
Bet tikai tāpēc, ka es iedevu kādam 50 eiro, nenozīmē, ka es radīju,
Depends on my motivation.
ka es radīju devības kārmu, tas ir atkarīgs no manas motivācijas.
So you could argue, you know, okay, one of the deepest levels of our attachment, which is really not only, it's not really taught until we get to the Bodhisattva path, it's quite subtle. It's called this strange phrase the Tibetans use called the 8 worldly dharmas.
Un ir temats, ko sauc par 8 pasaulīgajām darbām, un tas parādās tikai, kad mēs nonākam jau diezgan tālā attīstības
At the
posmā.
first level of practice,
Sākotnējā
you
attīstības
know,
posmā,
junior school,
mūsu sākuma skolā,
it's learning it, it's getting us to control our body and speech
mēs sākam ar savu ķermeņu un runas
in relation to the objects of our senses.
attiecībā pret savu maņu objektiem.
And then looking at our mind,
Un tad lūkojamies
beginning to
savu
unpack
prātā,
and unravel the way these delusions work
cenšoties atpakot visu saturu mūsu
in
prātā,
relation to the objects of the senses.
atkal attiecībā pret
Now, the more advanced level,
maņu objektiem, bet augstākā
the more we
līmenī,
know our minds,
jo labāk mēs
we
pazīstam
can go
savu
more
prātu,
deeply into these levels of attachment.
mēs varam ielūkoties vēl dziļāk,
And they're primordial.
un šie līmeņi jau ir
So one of these
Un viens no tiem,
is probably it's the deepest one.
un tas ir viens no
It's
visdziļākajiem,
this constant, unceasing craving
ir nepārtrauktā augšana pēc
to be seen and heard by others in a good light.
augšana pēc tā, ka citi redz mūs labā gaismā.
This sounds embarrassing.
Tas skan
To keep it really
apkaunojoši,
simple,
bet lai to vienkārši
for
paskaidrotu,
people to like us.
mēs gribam, lai
It's
cilvēki,
so hilarious.
lai mēs cilvēkiem
The most
patīkam.
natural thing in the world
Tā ir visdabiskākā
is to
lieta,
want to be liked.
ka
It sounds
mēs,
the most innocuous, normal human thing.
ka mēs vēlamies, lai mēs citiem patīkam.
But to hear that it's a delusion,
Bet
that it's the
saklausīt,
deepest level of attachment,
ka tas ir visdziļākais, kā mēs
it's
pieķeramies,
kind of like shocking.
tas ir šokējoši.
Like, what are you supposed to do with that, you know?
Un tad, ko mums būtu ar to
So this is
jāizsaka?
the thing about understanding the way Buddha's talking about these neurotic states of mind.
Bet tieši tāpēc ir jāsaprot, ko Buddha saka par neurotiskiem
Okay,
prāta
if we
stāvokļiem.
try and imagine what we would be like, let's try and imagine how we would be if we didn't have these.
Tad mēģināsim iztēloties, kāda mēs būtu, ja mums
Which again,
nebūtu šie
in our
prāta
culture is
stāvokļi.
inconceivable.
Atkal mūsu kultūrā
It sounds like
tas
insanity.
ir neiztēlojami.
You know. How would you be?
Kāda mēs būtu?
Not even to the level of, realising emptiness or having body cheating yet, but just pretty advanced in calming the neuroses down. How would you be?
Pat ja mēs vēl neesam realizējuši tukšumu, vai neesam bodhisattvas, kāda mēs būtu, ja mēs būtu
Well,
būtiski
okay,
nomierinājuši
one way of putting it.
Viens veids, kā to
The
paskaidrot,
more we have these delusions,
jo vairāk mums ir šie
the deeper the ego grasping,
jo dziļāka ir
the more
pieķeršanās
fear,
ego,
the more neurosis,
jo vairāk
the more
neurozi,
separate,
jo
the more
vairāk,
separate from others.
jo vairāk attālināt no
Therefore, the
citiem
more
mēs esam.
hunger
Un tāpēc,
for
jo vairāk,
something
jo
out
lielāks
there
izsaukums
to
pēc
fill up
kaut
this
kā,
gaping hole.
jo lielāks izsaukums pēc kaut kā ārēja, kas mums
Obvious one
piepildīs.
is the objects of the senses,
Un dabīgi mēs tiecamies pēc
but
ārējiem
more
objektiem,
primordial,
bet vēl vairāk,
because the sense of I
tā kā mums
is like I'm
sajūta,
nothing.
Mums ir sajūta,
So
mēs
of
nekas
course we
neesam.
hunger
Un tāpēc
after people to smile at us,
mēs esam
to
izsaukuši
hear
pēc
us,
citus
to
maidiem,
see us,
lai citi
to
mūs
acknowledge
saredz,
us,
lai viņi mūs dod atzinību,
because we feel like we're nothing.
jo mēs jūtamies, ka it kā mēs nekas neesam.
But forget the cakes and the sex.
Aizmirstam par
This is the
seksu.
deepest one.
Šis ir vēl
So it's
dziļāk.
almost as if,
Ir
with this
gluži
level
tā,
of attachment, this
Okay.
level of low self-esteem, nothingness,
ka ir tik zems pašvērtējuma līmenis,
it's like I am nothing
it kā es nekas
in
neesmu
myself.
pats no savas
I'm
puses.
only something.
Es esmu kaut
When
kas
ego
tikai tad,
smiles at me,
kad Igors uz
oh,
mani
Robīnu,
pasmāja.
you're a lovely person.
Robīnu, tu esi tik jauks cilvēks.
Now, I'm not saying it's not good to praise each other. We need to.
Es nesaku, ka mums nav jāslavē.
But we can
viens
see
otru,
with
bet,
some people,
mēs redzam, ka
no
daži
matter
cilvēki,
how many people like them,
lai
praise them,
citi viņus arī slavētu,
always lonely,
vienmēr
always low
jūtas
self-esteem, never enough,
nomākti, nekad nejūtās
always
pietiekami.
bereft and broken-hearted.
Viņi vienmēr ir vientuļi un nelaimīgi.
This is the suffering of attachment,
Tāda ir
the
pieķeršanās
suffering
ciešanas.
of ego grasping.
Tā izpaužās
So,
pieķeršanās pie ego.
naturally,
Un
as
dabīgi,
you lessen attachment,
jo mēs vairāk mazinām
which is
pieķeršanos,
dissatisfaction,
kas ir
it's hardly
neapmierinātība,
rocket science.
tā kā nav nečuši
What's the opposite of dissatisfaction?
kas ir neapmierinātības
You become more
pretestats.
satisfied,
Tas, ka mēs
more
kļūstam
content,
apmierinātāki, mēs esam
more whole, more
apmierināti,
fulfilled.
pilnīgāki,
You be content, happy.
mēs jūtamies
The less
piepildīti,
attached you are,
un jo mazāk
the less
mēs,
anger,
mēs
the less
pieķeramies,
depression,
jo mazāk
the less guilt.
depresija, pieķeršanās,
so the more patient,
jo,
the more kind,
jo vairāk mēs esam laipni,
the more connected to others,
jo vairāk mēs esam saikni ar citiem,
logically,
loģiski,
naturally.
dabiski.
It's logical.
Tas ir loģiski.
So the more delusions, the more separate, the more lonely, the more horrible.
Jo vairāk maldu, jo vairāk mēs esam
The
vientuļi,
less delusions,
jo mazāk
the
maldu,
more contentment, fulfillment, and joy
jo lielāka
in
apmierinātība
yourself.
mums pašos.
You know, Buddha's saying that everything that we are is in here,
Buddha saka, ka viss, kas mēs esam,
but we
ir
feel I
šeit.
have to get something from out there.
Bet mēs domājam, ka ir jādod
You know.
kaut kas no ārienes.
But he says, no, it's all inside already.
Bet nē, Buddha saka, ka viss mūsos jau ir.
I mean, the words are kind of familiar in a way, you know.
Vārdi šķiet pazīstami,
We don't know how to get it. You know?
bet mēs nezinām, kā to izpildīt.
So giving up attachment,
Tad atteikties no
you're giving up
pieķeršanās.
dissatisfaction,
Mēs domājam,
You're
ka
becoming
mēs atsakāmies,
which means fulfilled.
mēs atsakoties no pieķeršanās, mēs
So you're sitting in your
apmierināti.
home,
Un tad mēs sēžam
ego
mājās.
can't come tonight,
Igors nevar ierasties
you
šovakar,
don't break your heart.
un tas mūs
You
nesalauž
don't
sirdi.
grab the phone, pick up your first, you don't ring your first girlfriend.
Tad mēs
You can't bear being alone. You know?
nezvanām uzreiz pirmajai draudzenei.
Be content,
Mēs jūtamies
fulfilled,
piepildīti
all is well.
un viss labāk.
It's not complicated,
Tas nav
it's
sarežģīti,
just hard to get. You know?
tikai grūti to
But our problem is this.
Mūsu problēma ir
The
tāda.
logic of the way we live our life, the samsaric philosophy, which is the philosophy of attachment,
Mūsu samsāriskā pieķeršanās filosofija
is that happiness,
ir kā laime,
pleasant feelings,
labās
moments of joy,
prieka mirkļi.
are what you get
Ir tas, ko mēs
when
dabūjam,
attachment
kad
gets
pieķeršanās
its object.
dabū tā objekta.
Igor,
Igor,
the food, the
ēdienu,
music, the
mūzika,
sleep, the comfort,
miegu,
the praise.
atzinību.
Naturally, we think that.
Mēs dabiski tā domājam.
But the Buddha's saying,
Bet Buda saka,
I've got some methods for you,
man ir
to get
jums
happy.
metodas, kā padarīt jūs laimīgus.
and that's called that. And what his view of happiness is
Viņa skatījums uz laimi
what you get
ir, ka tas ir tas, ko mēs iegūstam,
when you give up attachment.
kad mēs atbrīvojamies no pieķeršanās.
So a simple analogy,
Un
when I
vienkārši
was addicted
līdzīgi,
to cigarettes,
kad es biju pieķeršies
and being an
cigaretēm,
extremist,
es biju
at some point it
ekstrēmists.
was like 80 cigarettes a day,
Okay.
Marlboros.
Kādu dienu es nopīpēju 8
In between
cigaretes,
the speed and the marijuana,
pa vidu starp marihuānu un amfetamīnu.
I never liked alcohol.
Man nekad nepatika alkohols.
I had no time for alcohol.
Man nebija laika alkoholam.
My worst was 80 cigarettes. Normal was 40. Okay.
80 cigaretes bija
Then
galīgi.
obviously,
Parasti bija 40 cigaretes dienā.
you know, we call that being a junkie, right?
Mēs to sauc par narkomānu.
Well, Buddha says we're all junkies.
Buda teikt, ka mēs visi esam narkomāni.
It's called attachment.
To sauc par pieķeršanos.
It's just a question of the object
Vienkārši jautājums
and
ir
the
par
degree.
objektu un pakāpi.
So it's obvious.
Un tad ir acīm
I mean, when
redzami.
I was like imprisoned by cigarettes.
Es biju burtiski cigarešu
It's like a nightmare, you know.
Tas bija kā murgs.
Every time I was nearly running out, I was frantic about the next one.
Katru reizi, kad izbeidās
Then at
paciņas.
midnight you run out, the packet's empty, you can have a panic attack.
Un kad pusnaktī izbeidās
You know,
paciņām,
go to searching for
panikas
shops or machines to get cigarettes.
Tad es meklēju
It's like hell, you know.
veidus, kā nebūtu cigaretes.
So obviously the logic there is that happiness comes when you get your cigarette.
Un tad parastais skatījums, ka laime nāks tad, kad būs cigarete.
Well, a moment of brief respite from the craving, isn't it really?
Patiesībā tas ir tikai īsts satelpas brīdis.
So real happiness, Buddha says,
Bet īstā
is when you
laime
give up craving the cigarettes.
nāk, kā
It's
būtu,
sort of obvious,
kad jūs atmetat cigaretes pavisam.
but it
Tas ir
sounds
acīm
kind of
redzami.
boring happiness.
Bet tā
Doesn't it?
izklausās garlaicīgi.
We want the drama, you know,
Mēs gribam
the
visu
craving and the getting.
Mēs gribam
Oh, I'm missing you all
augšanu
so
un
much.
pazušanu.
We love and kiss and love and have all exciting. You know, we want that kind of happiness.
Man tevs pietrūk, tagad es beidzot var tev satikt, mēs gribam visu
But we forget the
skaisto
downside,
drāmu. Bet mēs
which
nelūkojamies
is
uz
the fighting and the
trūkumiem,
jealousy.
kad ir šī arī greizsirdība.
Because fighting and jealousy
Jo strīdēšanās un
also
greizsirdība
comes from attachment.
arī nāk no pieķeršanās.
We don't like to think about that.
Bet mums par to nepatīk
We
domāt.
forget every time
Mēs aizmirstam
that
katru
you
reizi,
get full when you eat too much cake.
ka mēs bijām pārāk
Then you might get
šie.
acid reflux,
Un kad
constipation,
mums bija
fat.
aizcietējums, mēs kļuvām
but we
rasti,
forget it.
bet mēs to
As soon as you
aizmirstam.
see the cake,
Tiklīdz mēs redzam
that memory of all that goes.
viss sapnis
And
pazūd.
you just remember that fleeting moment of pleasure,
Un mēs paturam prātā tikai šo
Isn't it?
gaistošo balstu
Isn't it?
mirkli.
isn't it?
Vai tā nav?
We are ridiculous.
Mēs esam muļķi.
So I remember in my life, because I had no karma to have, you know, husbands and children.
Tā kā manā dzīvē nebija
It wasn't in my plan at all. My karma was very clear, you know.
nekādas karmas vai vēlēšanās pēc vīra vai bērniem.
I was going to be a priest from day one, you know. I
Yes,
saw the
back
priest
to
at mass.
Priesteri jau no pirmās dienas.
I mean, I wanted sex and drugs and pleasure, no question.
Protams, es gribēju arī seksu, narkotikas un
The
baumu,
thought for me, all my life,
bet visu dzīves
I'd
domāju.
look at people who went to live with each other. I didn't want to say anything because the world did it.
Es negribēju neko teikt par cilvēkiem, kas dzīvo kopā.
I thought it was very peculiar behaviour.
Man šķiet, ka tā ir ļoti dīvaina.
Live in the same bed with somebody,
Dzīvot
in the
vienā
same
gultā,
house,
vienā
and have
mājā
children.
un dzīvot kopā ar bērniem.
I didn't want to say anything. It seemed very rude, but I thought that was the most horrible idea.
Man tā šī
I can't describe it.
vismīgākā ideja.
It is peculiar because the world wants that, you know, so I kept quiet.
Un ir dīvaini, ka pasaule to vēlas.
I wanted
tāpēc es
pleasure, no
paklausīju.
question.
Protams, es vēlos baudu,
But because I didn't want house
bet tā kā es negribēju
and to
māju
live in the same bed
un
and
dzīvot
possessions
vienā,
and security
vienā
and
gultā
children,
un bērnus,
because I wanted more than anything to be my own boss and to be free.
jo es vairāk par visu vēlējos būt brīva un būt sev pašu.
It wasn't difficult to give up sex,
Tāpēc,
believe me.
ticiet man, nebija grūti
It was
pateikt,
crystal
tas
clear to me
tas bija
at
ļoti
some
kristāli
point
skaidrs, ka kādā brīdī,
that the suffering that came with it all,
ka tās ciešanas, kas nāk tam visam
doing what
līdzi,
other people wanted all the time,
darīt to, ko citi grib
putting up with the farts and the fighting.
sadzīvot ar
You know.
strīdiem un pirdieniem.
Yeah, I mean, you understand.
Jūs
Mortgages,
saprotat,
insurance, all these things. It was just like a no-brainer that all of that, the bit of pleasure that came didn't make it worth it.
Ka sadzīvot ar parādiem un šiem rēķiniem, kad tie mazie baudas brīži nav to vērti.
And I know I'm sounding a bit cynical.
Un var izklausīties, ka esam ciniska.
But it's just my mind.
Bet